Did you know that it's estimated that 223 million people worldwide have eczema, and yet most people don't know how to heal naturally or that it's even possible to heal without the use of medications? In today's video, I'm going to walk through 5 different tips for you to stop itching so much. And all of these tips are completely natural. I am Coach Michelle Mills. I am a certified natural health coach, and I've been helping people with eczema for the last 5 years. I've had so many amazing results with my clients, from people with severe TSW, topical steroid withdrawal on their face, to clear skin or almost clear skin in 3 months' time, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I've been working with people for a very long time. So I'm gonna walk you through the 5 different stages. So this is how this video is gonna be broken up. We have foods to avoid, foods to eat, supplements, environment, and then lastly, we're going to talk about mental tricks to stop the itch. When it comes to the itch, there are certain foods that you might want to avoid or at least be aware of when you have eczema. So we're going to start with histamine intolerance. This is one of the most common intolerances out there, and it actually has a lot to do with your gut. So a lot of times our gut is not producing the right enzyme called DAO that actually breaks down histamines from the foods that we eat. And so a lot of people are walking around with a histamine intolerance, which can also be caused from liver dysfunction. A really common thing when people have eczema is non-alcoholic fatty liver. And this is actually caused from overconsumption of carbs and sugar. There are a lot of resources that will back up this information that I am saying. I do a lot of research before I just come on YouTube and talk to you guys. So you can look into non-alcoholic fatty liver and the impacts of certain diet choices on that. But what does that mean for when you have eczema? Non-alcoholic fatty liver can cause not only a histamine intolerance, but a salicylate intolerance as well. You're probably wondering, what the heck are histamines? What the heck are salicylates? They are both plant chemicals that exist in plant foods that we eat, except histamines can actually be in all sorts of types of food. So the highest foods in histamine are going to be aged foods, like aged cheeses, aged meats, anything like alcohol or vinegar. Anything aged is very high in histamine. Not all people with eczema have a salicylate intolerance or a histamine intolerance, but it's something to be aware of. Another section of foods that we need to talk about is if you're feeling really itchy, especially during the day, you might be consuming processed foods that contain processed oils, processed sugar, and a lot of that's extremely inflammatory. So reducing your intake of inflammatory foods is going to help reduce the itch during the day dramatically. The goal here is to reduce inflammation, so let's dive into the foods that are going to reduce your inflammation. My number one favorite is fatty fish. So fatty fish contain omega-3. Omega-3 is a nutrient that's really anti-inflammatory. So one of the best things to have is a wild-caught salmon. And this is because it actually helps with histamine intolerance, it helps with inflammation, it basically helps your entire body in so many ways. The next food is flax oil. So this is also rich in omega-3 and it is vegan. It comes from flax seeds. There are 2 vegetables that I love, leeks and cabbage. Leeks are a little bit oniony. They're really nice in like a bone broth soup or just giving your food a little bit of flavor. I know sometimes if you go on an elimination diet when you have eczema, it's a little flavorless. So leeks actually help our bodies decrease leaky gut, heal our gut lining, and I really, really love leeks as a food. Now going on to cabbage. Cabbage is my number one favorite. I would recommend steaming it or cooking it down. We don't really want to consume raw cabbage during this stage, but cabbage helps our liver, cabbage helps our gut. Love cabbage for eczema. And the very last food is bone broth. There's a little disclaimer with bone broth. It both is high in histamine and it helps with histamine intolerance. It's a very weird thing. So what I would do is test this food out, see if you react or if you don't. Me personally, it was my saving grace for a very long time. I was just consuming bone broth soups as much as humanly possible. Now diving into supplements, there are 3 supplements that help specifically with histamine intolerance. beef kidney, not beef liver, beef kidney, quercetin, and stinging nettle. Stinging nettle you can have as a tea or you can take it as a supplement. Quercetin is really nice, but I find the most effective of all of them is the beef kidney. So you may have to experiment with how many you need to take in a day. Of course, please consult your doctor or your dietitian before implementing anything from this video. There's 2 supplements for salicylates. So with a salicylate intolerance, it comes to your liver. And so a food that's really good for that I didn't mention is celery. But the supplements that are in my mind are milk thistle. But be careful if you have a ragweed allergy, you may react to milk thistle. Or you can take glutathione. Glutathione's a really nice supplement to help support your liver detoxification process. If you're feeling itchy during sleep, you might want to take the supplement called glycine. Glycine is an amino acid, so if you've ever heard of L-glutamine or L-lysine, those are other amino acids. And so glycine is really good for helping reduce the itch while we sleep. The next topic that we're going to address is environment. So your environment's really important when you have eczema. This is a little bit more known to most people. So this is changing out your detergents for your clothes to ones with cleaner ingredients. There's a really good resource, environmentalworkinggroup.org, and they specialize in looking up ingredients and the safety of ingredients. And so if I'm ever at a loss, I go to ewg.org, build your own report, and I copy and paste the ingredients of everything from shampoos to makeup to everything, just to make sure that it's safe and it's okay for my body. So it'll have a rating scale from EWG, which basically means perfectly safe, all the way up to 10. So check out that resource if you need some help trying to decipher ingredients. I know sometimes they sound very crazy and we don't know if they're safe or not. Now we're going to go to the very last part of this video, which is mental tricks. This is my favorite and I feel like the most effective when it comes to the itch. If you're somebody who scratches all night long subconsciously, like you have no idea that you just scratched your skin, personally, I would always wake up with skin underneath my nails and it was so gross and I knew that I was scratching all night long. So I have 3 methods that you can use mentally to stop yourself from scratching. The first method is positive reinforcement, the second method is negative reinforcement, and the last method is a little bit trickier, so we'll dive into that after these 2. So positive reinforcement would be like, oh, I haven't gone an hour without scratching my skin. I'm gonna reward myself with XYZ. The negative reinforcement could sound like, every time you go to scratch, you make yourself cough. So that way you're creating a mental connection between the action and the awareness, because most of us are just scratching and we don't even know that we're doing it. The last method requires visualization. So when you lay in bed, when you're about to go to sleep, you're gonna lay there and visualize your body. And you're gonna draw a line down the center of your body from left to right. There's a line down the center, and you're gonna imagine that your hands are staying where they need to stay. So if your hands cross that line to itch, you're gonna say no. So what I want you to do is actually visualize you going to scratch. You're gonna say no, and you're gonna put your hands back down. And so I did this night after night, after night, after night, after night, and I was able to stop scratching in my sleep. I did this probably for 1 month and never scratched in my sleep ever since. So it's as simple as just a visualization exercise using all of the tips that you have found in this video, and you should be feeling better before you know it. If you want extra support, I offer a 1-month-long coaching program with myself. We would have coaching calls twice a week. At the beginning of the week, it's all about eczema. What diet should you be on? What supplements should you be taking? And this is completely tailored to every single client that I have. We can talk about how to moisturize, what to moisturize with. The second call of the week I think is really important because we're gonna dive into your mental health, your emotional health, and your relationship with yourself. Stress is the #1 root cause of eczema, so diving into why we're actually stressing is really, really critical. So if you want to read a review of somebody who just went through this 1-month coaching program, you can read that in the description down below. And if you're interested, you can also click the link down below. I'll link you straight to the website where you can learn more about what you get inside of my coaching program. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that you guys itch less. Bonus, if you've made it to the very end, I want to offer you a free ebook. This ebook is Itch Less in 3 days. So what you're going to do is go down to the description, it'll say free ebook, click that link, and you'll get a free ebook full of tips that are additional to the tips in this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!